In this series you can learn about the clan, which has transformed from a faculty of the most brilliant and unlikely violent students. One of whom will go up against Dot and Mash. Will the boys be able to defeat him together, or will he prove stronger? Either way, this means only one thing, that the clan of genius students will start a war, which will involve its mediators and Mash. The students of the academy face a daunting task. In this lesson they must defeat the magical scorpions in the woods. All things considered, this can be dealt with not only through magic, but also through physical strength. So it shouldn't be difficult for Mash to defeat a couple of scorpions and get silver coins. Except that the difficulty of the whole assignment is not these scorpions, strange as it may sound, but the other students who have decided that Mash is their enemy. As a reminder, some unexpected action is now taking place in the forest, namely, a duel between Dot and Silva has unfolded. Silva was in the winning position now. He was much stronger than Dot and outmatched him in every way. During the brief pause, the guy needed to think of something urgently. Because right now there was nothing his friends could do to help him. They had only to stand by and watch what was going on. In spite of his position, Dot was not worried about himself, but about the girl they had met in the forest. He had no idea that his thoughts were not his own, they were subject to her magic. Silva's arrogant attitude added fuel to the fire. He thought Dot was weak and wasn't afraid to speak his mind to his face. He wasn't afraid of anything, because he knew he would be stronger than everyone. He was unmatched by anyone he met on his path. Surprisingly, Silva decided to offer the boys a victory. But of course for a reason. To win, they must withstand 5 of his magical blows. If they can withstand it, he won't lay another finger on the girl. There will also be a silver coin at stake, and it will go to whoever wins this equal fight. Dot agreed to Silva's terms. This was not normal, even the girl stood up for her subordinate boy. Only Silva can call this fight equal. Who will win? Ignore the cruel Silva. Like and subscribe, brave Mash. He's clearly in a winning position because he's going to throw punches. He's just going to cripple guys. No one's ever taken a couple of punches. And there would be as many as 5. Dot was ready for such an ordeal. Then Silva stunned him with new news. He said it wasn't just him, but his friend Mash, too. Dot didn't want to screw his friend, so he decided to take a double batch of punches, for Mash and for himself. This really amused Silva, and he sprang into action. The first blow was very powerful. Dot didn't expect such power. And that's only one of 10 he had to endure. Nevertheless, he was able to endure it and almost didn't fall off his feet. Silva seems to be a real tyrant and sadist. He enjoyed inflicting pain on other people. Despite the pain, Dot braced himself for the next blow. It was followed by a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, an eighth, a ninth. Usually all the people who experienced Silva's power gave up. But not. He was able to withstand. Despite the power of the blows he had to endure, he still stood his ground. This amazed Silva. The boy's resilience was sustained by the magic of the girl he had saved. He couldn't give up, at least for her sake. That was why he still hadn't broken down. Since Dot had been able to withstand all the blows, Silva had prepared for him the last 10th blow, and it would be unusual. It will be more powerful, like an iron fist. And even after such a crushing magic move, Dot was able to rise to his feet. Silva was just in shock. Dot decided to walk over to him, but on the way, his mind blurred and he fainted. When he came to, he ordered Mash to grab the girl and run away. In the meantime, he'd deal with this magical dude. Sylvia didn't like the boy's speech, so he punched him again. That's when the girl's false mask was revealed, revealing who she really was. She revealed that she had cast magic on the boy and joined Sylvia. They had been allies all along. That blew Dot away, at least mentally. The villains also made fun of him and his trust. He was beyond angry. Silva's laughter was silenced by Mash's brownie, which he threw into his mouth. Now he would show them what it was like to hurt his friends. He told Silva that he accepts his challenge and is willing to take all 10 punches. At this time, Mashle's 3 friends were discussing him at the other end of the woods. They were worried about him because they didn't know where he was. Silva didn't yet realize who he was messing with, so he continued to insult the guys. Of course, after all, he thought he was invincible, powerful, strong. He thought he was someone who could humiliate, insult other people. Who could hurt others and still laugh at them. When Silva wanted to hit Dot again, Mash stepped in for him, but he couldn't hit his enemy. The guys started hitting Mash, one after another, over and over again. Suddenly something incredible happened. After a series of blows, Mash stopped the magic rock with one hand. It was time to get down to an even fight, no more patience. Mash sprang into action, he sidestepped several blows and almost got to Silva. Smashing every obstacle in his path, he reached his fist into his opponent's face. This pissed the guy off, and he showed off all his magical power. But even she was no match for Mashle's physical strength. Now it was Silva who was the victim. For the first time in years, someone was able to bring the bully to his knees. Mash stepped back a little further and said that Silva should be able to take 10 punches, as he had originally suggested. That's when Bully realized he was in deep trouble. He couldn't take another punch, let alone 8 at once. Apparently luck was on his side today, because a big scorpion came running out of the woods toward them. Everyone was expecting a fierce battle, but Mash defeated the scorpion with one blow. The boy felt sorry for Silva and did not finish him off. To avoid the same fate, the girl decided to press pity. She already thought this tactic worked. But to Mash, both women and men are equal, so he punished her, too. After such a battle, when Mash met up with his friends, he got plenty of support. Dot stood on the sidelines, once again abandoned by everyone. But then Lemon came up and expressed her excitement to him. To say he was very pleased was to say nothing. Dot thanked Mash for his help. The other faculty saw Mash's progress and they really didn't like it. Perhaps a battle of the coins might begin soon. It was exactly from the other faculty that Silva was from, and it was only one of his students. And there were a bunch of others out there who were just as strong. Thanks to this lesson, Mash was able to get a few silver coins, which he then managed to exchange for 1 gold coin. These faculties, by the way, had been formed since the beginning, when the new students first arrived. One had to touch the unicorn's horn, which would read a student's powers, thoughts, and beliefs in order to select a more appropriate faculty for him. This ceremony was exciting. Everyone hoped for a particular faculty and some were glad that their guesses matched. And some were surprised by the unicorn's decision, but no less happy. For many centuries the unicorn had never been wrong about where to direct his students, but when Mash approached he was in a stupor. When he tried to read his mind, all he saw were brownies and nothing else. He tried to match the brownie with the goodness of his heart and referred Mash to the Adler faculty. That's been the faculty he's been in ever since. In Liana, which is a different faculty, there are some of the most powerful mages who are most likely to make an appearance in the fight for the coins. You had to stay away from these guys, because they could even take the coins away. They were very cruel and punished Silva for his blunder. They were led by a magician who could turn anyone into a wooden puppet. And so to these dangerous people Mash accidentally got right into their lair.